So actually, if you just started, maybe you can just tell us a bit about how you guys got together and how this brand sort of came about. That would be a nice intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like a lot of good things, really, it came out of having a good drink with neighbours. I mean, Jason and I live a couple of fields away from each other, and we both like a drink, and we both are interested in.
You more than me, mate.
Oh yeah, okay. and we're both very interested in making things, whether it being innovating in a farm or making art or doing whatever. And so it all happened through a drink, really. Yeah.
And then I hadn't heard of vodka made from milk before your brand, but I understand from the chat we've had earlier that it actually has been around for a while.
Genghis Khan used to milk his horses and turn that into alcohol. I'm a dairy farmer. I didn't fancy getting kicked by horses, so I thought, why not use the milk we already produce, basically.
And so the idea came about, and you started. How easy was it to come up with the concept, and how easy was it to do it compared to how traditionally vodka is made? Hard.
Well, the thing is, my family been in cheese making for nearly 200 years. So for me, it's a bit of a natural, basically, when you're making cheese, you'll end up with whey. So whey we used to feed to the pigs. Don't do that sort of thing quite so much. So we ended up with a byproduct. So we wanted to come up with something which was sustainable and can be cleaner than milk. So and it was a free raw material for us at the time. So yeah.
And it's very interesting that, because a lot of premium brands with drinks especially talk about the quality of their materials and where it comes from, and actually traditionally spirits always what's made out of what's left over from the table. So be it cognac or being it Calvados or being it's the stuff that's left over. And if you have wheat, really you should use the wheat that isn't good enough to make bread out of, not the finest wheat. There's something profligate about that. And what's wonderful about what we use is basically something that to an extent is a bit of a problem child with the dairy industry. And Jason's family have been making cheese, beautiful cheddar, for hundreds of years. But there's this other product that comes from this very, very fine grass-grazed cow's milk, but it's not being used in the same manner. So we've taken something that's got a low material value and turned it into, we think, the smoothest vodka in the world. And when you talk about sustainability, ours is really sustainable. When we first started this, we got a very good friend of ours who grew up around here called Mark Hicks, who owns restaurants in London. We said, what do you think about this? He said, it's superb, it tastes delicious, but you need to tell them that it's made out of leftovers. And I felt 7 years ago, I felt slightly, well, do we really want to say we're making out of leftovers? But actually, the world's caught up with us now, and this is something we should all be celebrating for the sake of our palates and also the planet.
I was going to say, have you noticed a sort of much more interest now in terms of audience and public in wanting to know where things have come from, being interested to find out and hear that kind of thing? Do you think, how important has that become for people?
Well, lovely thing about when people drink, they tell stories, and it's lovely having a narrative about your drink as well. Whether you're a barman or whether you're in a bar. So, and it is something wonderful to talk about and consider, especially at this incredibly crucial time in the world, and actually, everyone is embracing this sort of narrative.
And you do tours here and tasting things, you invite people down. What are the things that people are kind of surprised about when they come here? What do you find? What's the reaction tend to be like?
The jokes.
Apart from your balance.
They love the countryside. As soon as they get off the train, I mean, we're in West Dorset. A lot of great things come out of West Dorset. You've got the Jurassic Coast, so you've got the whole scenery. And they come into here, the distillery. We've got a great bar there where you're currently having a drink.
We'll cut that out.
I've tried to slow you down. So we're having a drink. We serve special days or organised beforehand. We do a Hicks dinner where we go off one of his menus and we offer that, and we do a tour. Yeah, basically we tailor make everything to everyone's what everyone needs or wants.
I think it's interesting as well because people have preconceptions about the countryside and see things in this sort of bucolic idyll. And actually what's lovely is they come down here and we say we're doing something new, we're pushing things along a bit, we're considering how we're farming, we're considering how we're making things. We're also a small business, really 2 families, working towards doing something. So all the branding and all the stuff a lot of it is all homemade. And there are a lot of people out there doing that all in America, the artisanal movement, in Europe, and it's lovely to get people to relook at the countryside and view it in a different way.
And do you think our palate's getting more sophisticated? Are people these days, do you think you have to have a more sophisticated palate and enjoy these, the premium side of these drinks?
No, I don't think. I think our vodkas. I mean, I can remember when we first started, Arch, we said we want our vodka in a utilitarian bottle. It's there to be used. It's there for everyone. There's nothing poncy or snobbish about our vodka at all.
Yeah.
It's just a bloody good vodka.
Yeah.
And it really is a good vodka.
Yeah.
It's smooth. It goes with everything. You have it in a great martini. Mark Hicks only uses our vodka in his martini because it's so smooth and it just brings out, comes out with a brine or goes with tapas-y kind of.
We've
foods.
also found it the Russian community in London. We've met this guy who does sustainable caviar, where they farm sturgeon and they massage the caviar out so they don't kill the sturgeon. So she'll go off and she'll produce more eggs, which is lovely. And we've been giving him vodka to show his caviar off with. And we found that a lot of the Russian community in London now will only have their caviar with our vodka because it's so soft and so smooth. It supports the fragile flavours and nuances of the caviar better than, dare I say it, what they used to drink.
There's nothing offensive about our vodka. So whatever flavour you're going to bring is going to keep those flavours. It's not going to end up with a burn or a shudder or kicking the furniture or anything. It's just very smooth and easy.
And then in terms of the work that goes into it, so from cow to coming into the bottle and people being able to get it, what's that kind of process in terms of length and how does that kind of work?
Well, if you've noticed on your train journey down here, everything takes twice as long as it should do, and everyone down here speaks a little bit slower, so we like to take our time when you sort of get down this neck of the woods. We sort of from cow to bottle, it's probably a fortnight, to be honest. And if I want to take longer, I take longer, basically. But there's no hurry.
Yeah.
And the same when you're drinking it.
Apart from for us, who likes to drink it fast.
Yes, you too.
Is there anything else about the process that you want to tell us about that might be different or people might be interested in that's not?
Well, it's all different. It's all completely unique. Everything in our bottle is milk. That's why it's such a smooth vodka and soft vodka. There's grass grazed cows, and it was all developed on basically work hard and play hard, so you can still get up in the morning.
Yeah, you don't get too much of a thick head with ours. We like to.
You don't get just drink plenty of water.
Exactly,
it's good vodka.
Exactly.
And just finally, is there any tips for people who are looking for? If you're just being less biased, and not necessarily your vodka, but just in general, what should people be looking for when they're looking for a good vodka? What should they consider? It should
be smooth. It should have a very neutral taste, but it should have some sort of interesting nuance to it. So you're looking for something that has character without being overpowering, because the genius of vodka is that it's like really good olive oil, which is a very difficult thing to make, and people spend hundreds and hundreds of years getting that right. You can, with a very good olive oil, you can make a million different incredible things, from an incredible simple pasta dish to just having it on some beautiful bread. And it's the same with our vodka. It's this wonderful ingredient, and I urge everyone to take our vodka home or another really good vodka home and look at it and think about what they've got in the cupboard at home or what they've got in the fridge, and use it as a lovely ingredient for having fun with.
No, I would say ours would actually shine because
So would I.
It would, because it just goes with so many things.
Yeah.
Because it's so soft.
So soft, lack of
So I only
manuality.
drink my own vodka.
That's as you should.
Yeah.
I think that's so good. I think that's everything.
You
Unless
got-
there's anything.
Are you right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Do we
think.
want to talk about lack of minerality, or say it's a bit technical?
Yeah,
So probably got enough there, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't think we want to go too technical. It's better to
It's
keep it.
fine for
fun and-
vegetarians, vegans, just strictly.
Oh,
keep
it's
out.
completely suitable for people who are lactose intolerant because it's
Yeah.
only 5 parts per million. It's less than 5 parts per million
Yeah, you
lactose
think
in it.
that-
That's important for
No,
America.
yeah, it is, but I don't think it for this writing
It's
side.
not.
And we can
Okay.
put that in. We can put that in.
Ill, but anyway.
No, well, this
Well,
he'll
there you
tell
go.
you this one.
So yeah,
Okay,
but
do
did
you
you drink vodka before you came up with the brand, basically?
My wife doesn't like me drinking whiskey. Probably makes me too frisky. But I was very good at drinking red wine, but I need to get up in the morning, so I wasn't very good at getting up in the morning. Many a time have I been woken up by the lorry reversing in, going beep, beep, beep. And I'd say, not today, thank you.
Milk tanker.
So I've drunk vodka because I can get up in the morning, and farming you've got to be up in the morning. So and this was all about, work hard, play hard. So I'm very good at getting up in the morning on this.
Yeah.